Here we are.
Yeah.
Now are we? Good morning. If you have a moment, please uh, just type a greeting in the chat window, and I know who you are. Welcome. We will be starting worship for First Presbyterian Church of Strasbourg in about 4 minutes or less. Um, it's great to have you with us this morning. Okay. Good morning, Alice. Welcome and happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Welcome, First Presbyterian Church of Strasbourg, and anybody that may be watching. Uh, we will be starting with our traditional worship in just a couple of minutes here. But in the meantime, welcome. Good morning, Kay. Oh, it's so good to see you there. If you have a moment to type a greeting in the chat window, I would love that so I can say hello back to you personally. Welcome and happy Mother's Day. We're down to a little less than a minute now to start. Happy Mom's Day to all the mothers out there.
Company can't have any sound on.
Down to close. Glad that was off the air. All right, we're ready.
Can we not have this?
Okay. Good morning, First Presbyterian Church of Strasbourg, and welcome to continued worship this Mother's Day Sunday, May 10th. I want to take a moment and say Happy Mother's Day to all our moms out there. uh, whether you're from First Presbyterian or may even happen to be outside and watching our worship this morning. Um, as I was uh, preparing uh, for this morning, um, I discovered a voice on this keyboard that sounds somewhat similar to the organ and somewhat similar to like a quieter flute stop. And I was thinking about how long uh, in this environment I've been away from the organ. And so I wanted to play a couple of just hymns using that voice this morning so that I'm sure a number of you may have missed hearing the organ. And so I wanted to take a moment to start things off and give the opportunity to be quiet and still before God and play some things using that voice so that you might hear something that sounds a little bit similar to the organ, which so many of us miss on Sundays. Good morning and welcome and happy Mother's Day. I'm going to continue on playing a couple more things using this new voice that I discovered on the organ, and it sounds somewhat similar to what a flute stop would sound like on the organ. And I just wanted to provide you something that sounded even remotely like the organ because we've been away from that so much, and I thought you might appreciate that as we center ourselves and we quiet ourselves in preparing for worship. Well, I hope that you have liked, and that's been a blessing for you to hear something that sounds a little similar to the organ. Welcome and happy Mother's Day. If you have a moment, please type in a greeting to the chat window, and I can say hello back. But on the theme of quieting ourselves and centering ourselves before God, let's take a moment to invite the Spirit in our hearts so that we can worship God in spirit and truth. I want to invite you to turn to number 322 in the hymnal, Spirit of the Living God. Good morning. Thank you, Kay. I'm so glad you like that. As we are in this environment where so many things have slowed down, there's something that has been going on outside that hasn't, and it continues on like many other things, such as our worship, because of this technology that we have and the ability we have to stay connected. And the thing that's been going on outside is spring. Things are in bloom, and it is just beautiful. So on this Mother's Day Sunday, I want to invite you to turn in your hymnal, or if you don't have a hymnal, you can look at the bulletin online on the church website to number 473. 473. Let's celebrate the beauty that we see outside, the beauty of our Creator, for the beauty of the earth. Well, good morning, and we welcome you. I hope that you are all continuing to be well and stay safe, and calling upon God to sustain you in this time. As we continue on with our worship this morning, I want to invite Lisa back for a second, and we're going to take a couple minutes, and Lisa is going to sing this morning for us. And the name of this is How Lovely Are Thy Dwellings. How Lovely Are Thy Dwellings. And this is written by
Scott Little.
Scott Little.
And it was written, it was copyrighted 1935. It's an oldie and a wonderful tune.
An oldie but a goodie. So,
I sang it last in 1988.
so
Really?
we hope that this will be a blessing to you this morning. I know it will, because I've already heard it. So happy Mom's Day to all the mothers out there.
For the courts of the Lord, my heart and my flesh cry out for the living God. In the spur of Haranhars, in the swallow nest, where she may lay her young, even thy waters, even thy waters, hosts, my King and my God. O Lord God of hosts, hear my prayer. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. For a day in thy court is better than 1,000. How lovely are thy dwellings, O Lord of hosts. My soul longeth, fainteth for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living God. In the spur of Haranhars, and the swallow nest, where she may lay her young, even thy daughters, even thy daughters, hosts, my King
Thank you, Lisa. That was just beautiful. Wow. We are fortunate to have such a talented voice with us this morning, and fortunate that we can just be together. And I am glad that you are here. Let's continue on in our worship. And as I think about things that go on, so do we. Just because this virus exists, it doesn't stop our relationship with God. And so we as Christians continue on. And though we are confined indoors a lot of the time, there are still ways that we can reach out to those around us. And I want you to think of that as we sing our next hymn, that we still have the ability to minister to those that are hurting and that need the love of God in their lives. We can still be the hands of Jesus. So let's look in our hymnal and turn to 392. And again, this is in the bulletin that is online on the First Pres of Strasbourg website, so you can reference it there as well. Number 392, Take Thou Our Minds, Dear Lord. And continuing on then with that theme, I want you to think of people around you, whether in our church, in your neighborhood. Who do you know that needs to hear the voice of Jesus and coming through you? Maybe it would be in the form of a telephone greeting. Maybe it means running a trip to the grocery store or to the pharmacy to get necessary medicine. Um, Maybe it means giving some kind of support for somebody that lost a job. Whatever that is, I want you to think of that as we continue on. And this next hymn will be number 369. 369. I'm going to live so God can use me. I'm gonna live so God can use me anytime, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna work so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna pray so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna pray so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna sing so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. I'm gonna live so God can use me anywhere, Lord, anytime. But we only have a few minutes left. And so as we close out today, I want to continue on with something that we've been using for the past couple of weeks, and we will continue to do this at least until we are together back in our building and worshiping physically together. And so we want to offer this as a prayer and as a benediction to you. This is number 540. 540 in our blue hymnal. God be with you till we meet again. And we send forth blessings to you. We miss you. We love you, and look forward to being together in the time that God provides for us. And I wish you to be safe and well in this time. God be with you till we meet again. Loving conscience guide upon you with the shepherd's care and fold you. God be with you till we meet again. Amen. Let's go. good to see you, Ed and Linda. We'll see you in another week.
Good. We'll look forward to it.
Until then,
God
blessings
bless.
to you. We keep you in prayer all the time. If there's anything I can pray for you, please feel free to send me an email, and we will lift you up in prayer. Until then, we'll see you in a week. Stay safe and be well.
Bye.
Blessings.
How old do you think I look in